Samuel Harrison never imagined he would be sharing his story, but after what he experienced during his near-death encounter, he realized he had no choice. The vision he received was too important to keep to himself, especially given the times the world was facing. For 28 years, Samuel served as a firefighter with the California Department of Forestry and Fire Protection. His job was not just a career, it was his calling. Every time he stepped into the flames, he felt God's presence guiding and protecting him. Even after his retirement, he remained involved as a consultant and trainer, passing on his knowledge to the next generation. On January 15, 2025, his life took a dramatic turn. That morning, he was on his way to a fire safety training session at a local church when he suddenly felt an unusual tightness in his chest. Struggling to catch his breath, he pulled over, thinking he just needed a moment to recover. That was the last thing he remembered before everything went dark. Before you keep watching, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out. Like this video to show your support, and comment with your opinion or simply an Amen. Chapter 1. A Journey Beyond Life. Samuel had been clinically dead for 9 minutes, but what he experienced changed everything he knew about life, death, and the spiritual battle in California. He expected darkness. Instead, there was light, radiant, alive, all-encompassing. Looking down, he saw his body slumped in the truck, people rushing to help. Yet he felt no fear, only peace. Drawn upward, he moved through layers of existence, each revealing deeper truths. The presence surrounding him grew stronger, pure love, knowing everything about him yet loving him unconditionally. Then he appeared. Jesus Christ stood before Samuel, yet his presence was everywhere. His eyes held galaxies, but when he looked at Samuel, it felt as if he were the only soul in existence. "My child," Jesus spoke, his thoughts deeper than words. "You must understand what is truly happening in California. What you are about to see, you must share with my people." Chapter 2. A Vision of Fire and Darkness. In an instant, the space around them transformed. They were looking down at California from above, but this was no ordinary view. Samuel was seeing not just the physical world, but also the spiritual reality behind it. What he saw nearly overwhelmed him. The fires raging across the state were not merely natural disasters, they were manifestations of a deeper spiritual battle that had been building for generations. Jesus directed Samuel's attention to specific areas of intense darkness, and he saw that these regions aligned exactly with the places where the fires were most destructive. Within the flames, Samuel saw entities. They were not physical beings, nor traditional demons, but living shadows that twisted and fed off the fire itself, growing stronger with each acre burned. These fires are not merely accidents or consequences of climate change, Jesus revealed. They are physical manifestations of spiritual corruption. The enemy has found fertile ground in the hearts that have turned away from truth, from love, from me. Each time my children choose the ways of the world over my ways, these entities grow stronger. Chapter 3. The Battle Between Light and Darkness. Jesus showed Samuel how these spiritual forces operated. They did not start the fires, they didn't have to. Instead, they whispered lies, that God was not real, that truth was relative, that comfort mattered more than faith. Each soul that believed these lies fed the darkness, making the fires harder to control. But then, Samuel saw hope, points of radiant light scattered across California. These were faithful people who put God first. Where their light shone, darkness had no power, and the fires weakened. "Watch carefully," Jesus said, revealing how California had slowly turned from faith. People didn't reject God outright, they simply pushed him aside. Worship became entertainment, faith grew shallow, and true community dissolved into digital distractions. My church, Jesus said sorrowfully, has chosen comfort over conviction, popularity over truth, compromise over courage. Many who bear my name have replaced relationship with ritual and true worship with empty traditions. Then Jesus showed two possible futures. In one, the fires consumed not just the land, but society itself. Judgment fires, burning away everything not built on true faith. In the other, people woke up. They turned back to God wholeheartedly. Churches became houses of real prayer. Families worshiped together, and communities changed. As faith returned, the spiritual atmosphere shifted and darkness lost its power. The fires, though still present, became manageable, no longer fueled by supernatural forces. Chapter 4. The urgent call to return. Before Samuel was drawn back to his body, Jesus gave him a final message. Tell them that I love them. Tell them that it is not too late to turn back to me, but tell them also that they must choose now. The time for indecision is over. The time for casual faith has passed. They must decide whether they will serve me with their whole hearts or continue on their current path. With those words, Samuel felt himself being pulled back. The next thing he knew, he was gasping for air as paramedics worked over him. By all medical understanding, he should have suffered severe brain damage from the lack of oxygen. Yet his mind was clearer than ever, filled with the urgent message Jesus had given him. Now he shares this story because he must. Jesus made it clear that this message was not just for him. It was for everyone willing to listen. The fires in California are more than natural disasters. They are a spiritual wake-up call, a warning of what is to come if people do not return to true faith. The solution is not political or technological. It is spiritual. It requires complete surrender to God, a genuine, life-changing faith that places Him first in everything. The choice is clear. Time is running out. Will the people return to God before it is too late? Let us know your thoughts as we navigate these fascinating mysteries together. Enjoyed the video? Don't forget to subscribe to the channel.